And that's that. It's like, this is what needs to be done. And you guys are the ones supporting us. There's a lot of other people supporting us who can't necessarily be here. But they're out there too, and they support what we're doing here. They support us gathering here. They know that gathering is really, really important. Not everybody can make it to a cold camping festival, but people really think it's amazing that a bunch of people can get together in this culture where everyone's afraid to smoke pot, and we can do what we're doing right now. So it's very powerful.
So how many of you guys went to the Boston Freedom Rally this year? I've been going to the Boston Freedom Rally for many years. The first time I went there, I watched some kids getting arrested at 10 in the morning. Progressively, year after year, more and more people were getting arrested. Then the Boston police, just like the NYPD during the marijuana march, would come in there training. They'd come in there in full riot gear, and they'd walk through a crowd and push the crowd into a spot and then arrest a bunch of people. Well, Massachusetts just decriminalized marijuana, and they have an interesting law. New York State has decriminalization. We've had it for near 30 years. Anything under 25 grams in New York State is a violation, a non-jailable offense. Well, in Massachusetts, it's 28 grams, and you do not have to carry ID in Massachusetts. And the procedure for giving you a ticket in Massachusetts, the officer, this is what happened at the Boston Freedom Rally. Me and a few of my friends, and one of them will be speaking for you tomorrow, walked up to a group of all law enforcement officers and showed them a bud. I said, "Officer, this is marijuana. What's the procedure now?" And the cop said, "Well, I'm now supposed to ask you for ID." "Yeah, we're going to have to respectfully decline." "Well, then now I'm supposed to ask you for your name and address." "Yeah, we're going to have to respectfully decline again." "Well, then carry on." That was this year at the Boston Freedom Rally. Change is coming, but don't get lazy now. We need to break that stoner stereotype and show them that we're actually an organized bunch. How many people here are registered to vote? If you're not registered to vote, you can't pitch a bitch. And I used to be the one that stood up here and said if voting could change anything, it would be illegal. And I was wrong, especially on a local level. You guys know my story about New Paltz, New York? I was the campaign manager. Basically for me, Jen, and about 15 of our friends got together one night at a bar drinking, just like our founding fathers did when they decided to start a revolution. And we were sitting there and we said, you know what? Let's run somebody for mayor. You know what? We'll run a whole slate of candidates. There's 2 village board positions open. We'll run for mayor and 2 village board positions. We ran a hard campaign. We registered about 1,000 people to vote. I remember we were at a normal meeting that night on campus, and we were waiting for the election results. None of us thought we were going to win, but we not only won, we took over a majority on our village board.
You know those moments where you just can't help but outburst and get out of your chair and screaming? That's pretty much what happened to me. I couldn't control myself. All of a sudden, I was out of my chair screaming. It was the most exciting thing, that's happened in New Paltz since there was 200 hippies drumming up and down the street.
And so when you take over your village, some of the things you can do are, say, put solar panels on your village hall. Stop dumping chlorine into the sewage and dumping it into the river, and plant reed beds so that we can clean the sewage. Don't allow county trucks to drive in our village unless they use clean biodiesel. Deprioritize marijuana arrests to the lowest priority. These are the changes me and you want. These are the changes me and you can make, and all it takes is a little effort, a little community, and a little working together. And it's not near as hard as that. 15 of us took over our village. 15 people took over the village of New Paltz. When it comes to marijuana, what you got to do is you got to imagine a crop more versatile than the soybean, the cotton plant, and the Douglas fir tree put together. One whose products are interchangeable with those from timber or petroleum. One that grows like Jack's beanstalk with minimal tending. There is such a crop, cannabis hemp, marijuana. Henry Ford introduced an automobile that ran on fuels derived from cannabis, hemp, marijuana. Even the fenders were made from hemp. Ford's vision was to grow an automobile from the soil. I'm sick and tired of being a conscientious objector in their war on drugs. I'm sick and fucking tired of watching them drag off my brothers and sisters, one by one, for smoking a plant that God, Jah Jehovah gave us. How long are we willing to peacefully stand by? The first two drafts of the Declaration of Independence, they were written on cannabis hemp paper. The daughters of the American Revolution sewed hemp linens for the Continental Army. In regions where hemp was prominent, such as Hempstead, New York, and Hemp Hill, Texas, towns all over the United States were named after cannabis hemp. Perhaps the most unfortunate aspect of the anti-marijuana legislation is that it defines a crime, which is a crime without any victim. I'm sick and tired of always having to look over my shoulder. I look at my rearview mirror and the cops, they're pulling me over. I'm sick and fucking tired of being searched and harassed time and time again. It's time we stood up and say no!
No!
Like in the days of Nancy Reagan? No!
No!
Can I search your car?
No!
Can I search your house?
No!
Can I search your pockets?
No!
And friends don't rat out friends, ever. I love you people. I'm so happy to be here. 15 years, man. No one thought we'd pull it off for 15 years. I want to see us here another 15 years. And in 5 years, I want this to be a celebration of legalization.
A celebration where a cannabis cup is freely advertised on all of our flyers. And every grower is not afraid to come here and participate. That's what we're here for. We're here taking a stand on freedom, and one of the most profound things people can do as a political statement is just sit around a campfire and commune, and it scares the living shit out of the government and the powers that be. I mean, part of the problem here is people not connecting at all. We don't feel connected to our neighbors, anybody. Everybody's out for themselves. This isn't about caring about other people and just being selfless and doing charity work. This is about yourself. This is about your family, your own, future of who you care about. This is everybody. This isn't just, I'm going to do some charity work and help other people.